Give me. I want to check out the tracking stuff for it. Hello guys, how you guys doing? Next episode, I'm in a different location, different gym. For the holidays, I'm visiting my family. We're at Tri-Fit Barbell down in South Carolina. Lovely gym. I really love the setup. Let me see if I can kind of show you a little bit here. You'll see more of the gym once I start training. But as you can see, plenty of combo racks, plenty of space. Got some strongman equipment as well. Iron plates. This is only stones. Some of you might recognize this from my Arnold training vlogs last year for the Arnold, but this year is going to be powerlifting focus on for March. So I won't be doing the Arnold, just be doing nationals. Before we get started here, I want to talk a little bit about feelings and emotions. And sometimes everyone's has different family circumstances and things like that. So, but with mine, sometimes I get a bit emotional when you're around a lot of people. When these are people that I really care about, I'm very blessed to have that. But emotions, feelings can run high, especially when you have so many adults living back at home with the parents. So, I want to talk about feelings, at least some of my opinions on it right now. Everything is a scale. Everything is a scale. The idea that it's like, everything in moderation, yes, but sometimes you need to be pushed more to one side of the scale versus the other side of the scale. My time in my life right now, my scale is full on tilt, be as strong and as competitive as possible. That is where my scale is. I'll probably always be tilted to that side of the scale more than other people. With that being said, though, we can look at everything as a scale, and that would include your feelings and your emotions as well. If you're too emotional and too in your feels about things too often, that can have a negative impact on what we're trying to accomplish. Because when you're very emotional, your IQ or your ability to think logically will drop. Your ability to think logically, to plan, to see the bigger picture can drop. Now, this will be important if we're gearing up for a big deadlift. If we're in a position where we know the plan, we just have to commit the action. It's very important to kind of be emotional. I like to say passionate. You want to be very passionate. But on the flip side of that, if we make emotional choices all the time, and everything is going to be, I can say like last year training for the Arnold, I failed a log like 3 times because instead of being logical about things, I was being emotional. I was putting too much attachment and feeling towards what this attempt meant on this specific day or something like that. So it is important to make sure we're balancing out. Also, if we're too logical, we're not emotional at all. You'll see this a lot with some trainers. Everything is about the numbers. Everything's very specific. There's no passion involved in their lifting. They're not excited for what they're doing. They don't feel love for what they're doing, and that can have some negative outcomes too. Everyone I know who's a great lifter is passionate about lifting. So, again, it's not that feelings are bad, but treat feelings more as a signal and a performance booster if we're talking about being athletic, but treat feelings more as a signal than the ultimate goal. So what does that mean? Let's say you wake up, you feel like crap. Okay? Instead of harboring or spending too long, I feel like crap, today's going to be crap, blah, 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 blah. Instead, focus on what does that signal tell you? Well, I went to bed a little bit late. I didn't eat the right foods. I was drinking last night. So if we can think about those things, okay, well, these are all the reasons I kind of feel like crap. Maybe I feel down on myself, everything like that. That's fine, that's okay, because I understand where it's coming from and I understand what I can do to change course to make myself feel a little bit better. Use your feelings, use your emotions as a signal. Very important. All right, let's get into today's workout. Now, I did bring a tripod, but I forgot to bring the attachment for this thing to fit on that tripod. I'm a bit frustrated with it, but hopefully I can kind of do something here so I can get enough detail or actually film my workouts. Alright guys, got this new Osmo Camera 3 from DJI, and I got the mic attached to it, so hopefully this all works. If not, we'll figure something else out. Anyways, so today we are entering into the second big block of our prep, and more challenges have been presented to us, more opportunities to overcome, more obstacles to overcome, opportunities to succeed. That is, I sprained my AC joint during the unrack of last week's close grip bench with the chains. I worked up to the overhead press, 275. It was kind of off program. I was supposed to do 260 for 3. I was feeling really good, so I did 275 for 3, and I felt completely fine. So I don't think it was that. I really do think it was during the unrack of my close grip where I irritated it. So I was getting some pretty noticeable pains, like sharp pains in my shoulder the day after I hit some curls for my curl competition coming up. That was very painful. But listen, with injuries, you need to let them calm down first, of course, but then you kind of need to attack them with the recovery. The AC joint itself, there's no muscles or nothing there I can really do. But what happens is that there's a sense of instability at that joint. So I can attack my control and my stability at that joint. And that's what I've been doing. I've been working on some external rotation. I've been working on some lateral flies, working that rear delt, working the lower trapezius. I'll probably end up doing some pec minor dips too, because it is feeling a little bit better. It will be aggressive. And then you'll see here, I'm going to do some kettlebell walks, upside down kettlebell walks. That is going to allow me to, again, practice that stability at that joint, get it feel a little bit better. The more stable I can get the joint, the better it's going to feel. Then I'm going to progress my lifts as normal. Am I going to be able to load up 500 pound and go for reps? Not right now. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see tomorrow. But I can do something. When you've been in the game long enough, you know what injuries feel like. You can feel them progressing. You need to know how, to progress this guy. So it was my knee last block. It's going to be my shoulder this block. But then after that, I'm going to be peaked. I'm feeling I am the strongest I have ever been. So we will attack. I got this nice empty gym here today. Let me show you what I'm doing with the kettlebell walks, and then maybe we'll see some presses. Good news, last week I didn't record this, but I did work up to 225 on the overhead press. So the overhead is not an issue with me. It's just the horizontal pressing. If I can't attack the horizontal pressing, well then I'll attack the vertical pressing. All right, so I'll show you what we're doing. This position really flexed. This is gonna be bothersome, but if I come up to here, it's a good challenge, but I can also, make sure the shoulder's comfortable. What I'm doing with my scap is I'm focusing on taking my scapula, I'm pulling it forward. It's what my serratus anterior is doing, pec minor, keeping it down, pulling all that forward. Think about bringing my shoulder forward just like that, nice and tight. I'm working that stability. There we go. 35 pounds. Oh, much better than it has been. Walking just like this. I'm going to go until stability is really challenged. One thing I will say is that the last 2 days I've kind of not done much. I'm like, okay, let me just relax, rest those muscles, and the shoulder actually got a little bit more irritated. So too often do I have clients, some nagging injuries come up. They're like, oh, let me just take time off. It's not the answer. The answer is to find what you can't do and attack it with purpose. Let me superset some vertical jumps with there to warm up for my squat. The throwing motion, that's gonna irritate my shoulder. So what we're gonna do, keep my hands to the hips, just work on just the hip power in the legs, which is kind of all that matters. That's one. All right, let's see if we can get some presses with the kettlebell. Doing some kneeling presses. Again, focusing there. What I'm trying to do there is I'm trying to keep my elbow in line with the middle of my body. If I just let it flare out like that, then it's like, might as well just do a dumbbell press. It's not challenging the goal. Ooh. That's 2. Look at that. Pain can often be an emotion, kind of like what I've talked about earlier. Pain can be a feeling, pain can be an emotion. Lots of times I had this one doctor I was training. Every single time he started getting stressed at work, it was like a busy season, we were doing deadlifts and he irritated his back. There was no crazy changes in position or anything like that. He just irritated his back. It would take him out for like a week or 2. A lot of times pain, a lot of times back pain is an emotional response that you hold. So then, in the future, every time he was getting this busy season, took a step back from deadlifts. We could push something else though. We could push bench, we could push whatever. But actually, over time, he was able to better handle his stress. We were able to reintroduce heavy deadlifts during those stressful seasons. All right, let's go now. Gonna do more jumps and whatnot. You'll see me on squats. All right, guys, just finished. I finished my top set, 745. Moved really, really well. The first rep felt fine. The second rep, I did not properly tighten my lats, so the bar started to roll forward a little bit. It's hard to tell on the camera, but I could feel it. So as a quick reminder, rep number 3, pulled it into place, and it felt perfect. I felt like you could throw 20 more pounds on. I'd be able to grind that out for the third. With all that being said, though, we only get 1 rep at competition. So during these back off sets, you're going to see my last set of 590 speed rep. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on the brace and tightness in my lats, motorcycling down with my elbow, boom, pulling down like that. Feels good on the collarbone. Shoulder doesn't bother me at all with these, thank God.
So we got 590 back offset, and then you will also see some speed reps with some bands, roughly 120 pounds. I think I'm just going to do 2 reds, whatever that might be. So feeling good about that. It's kind of crazy. I mean, hitting 745 for a triple is crazy. I remember just 3 years ago that was beyond my PR, but now I'm like hitting it for an easy 3. And what was really shocking to me is like, wow, I've never done speed reps with 590 before. That's crazy to me. I mean, it's all exciting, but that's really exciting to me. All right, let's get these speed reps here.
Guys, to be honest with you, this video was shot weeks ago. And I'm frankly in a more zen stage of my life. But we are in a secret location. I cannot give you the details of what's going on yet.
That was in 2025.
That was literally in 2025, and I've grown as a person in 2026.
Mm-hmm. New goals.
New goals. New year.
New me.
New me. Still getting these games, so
there was a lot of good stuff in it though. Still,
yeah. You guys are gonna see the journey. Obviously, road to nationals. We're still focused on the nationals.
Episode 9.
This was a huge squat though, the heaviest I've ever done for this amount of reps. Very, very excited. Also very excited about my knee feeling so great. Hitting all these sets, hitting all these reps at a pretty significant weight. My knee's feeling great after this video, and it still does today. Just to give you a little peek in the future. And that's how you gotta deal with these damn injuries. You can't be You can't. You stop worrying, stop thinking about your damn self. If you get hurt, something like that, focus, make a plan, trust in God, you're gonna get better, and you're gonna fucking dominate, all right? And that's what I did here, and that's what you're gonna see me continue to do in the coming weeks. Let's go.
Boom. Okay, middle of generational lock-in, videos getting done.
We're gonna at least get you 2 videos.
At least 2
At
videos.
least 2
At least 2.
videos.
Hopefully we.
Do many more.
This one's coming out today. I'm gonna post this right after I'm done, so you guys will be up to date for this. But the rest of them, who knows?
Who knows?
Who
Who
knows?
knows if they ever come
We
out?
are in a secret government location. They took us and they were like, "You guys got to start posting YouTube videos." You were locked in this cell, and we can only work.
We can only work.
But when will I decide to schedule them? That's up to me. That's between me and God. They will probably be coming out soon.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay. What do you want to say as
End
part
the
of
video.
it?